Surya. I'm a specialist in pulmonology working with Naseem Al-Rabi Medical Center. So Naseem Al-Rabi Medical Center welcomes you all to this FB live discussion. So yesterday, 8th of March was the International Women's Day. International Women's Day celebrates the essence and achievements of women all over the world. So one of the most important rights of women all over the world is the right to good health. So today we will discuss briefly about the respiratory problems which can happen or which can worsen in pregnancy, so as to take steps in the right direction early on to stay healthy, happy and fit all throughout your pregnancy. So respiratory diseases are one of the indirect causes of maternal death, and if not properly treated or not properly controlled, it can result in adverse outcomes in the mother and the baby. So normally some physiological changes can happen throughout your pregnancy, including some hormonal changes. So the estrogen levels in the body increase at that time, which can cause increased friability of the lining or the covering of your respiratory tract, making you more prone for infections. Also, the capacity of the lung will decrease and there will be changes in your body shape. So as the pregnancy advances, the enlarging uterus, it can compress or it can push upward your diaphragm and you will feel breathless. So these are all common mechanisms by which you feel breathless during pregnancy. But there are some respiratory diseases which can occur in pregnancy, presenting as increased breathlessness, some of which you may already have, or some of which the pregnancy can predispose to certain lung conditions. So first we will discuss about asthma. So what is bronchial asthma? Asthma is the increased reactivity or the increased sensitivity of the airways of the lung to a variety of allergens. So these allergens can be cold, or it can be viral infections occurring during cold climate, or it can be the dust which is present in your floor, in your furnishings, in your curtains, carpets, or it can be the house dust mite, cockroach, or the animal dander, or the cat dander, etc. from your pets. All can act as allergens. So if a woman who already has asthma in pregnancy, if she stops taking the medicines she already has taken, it can result in severe adverse outcomes affecting the mother and the baby. So normally in pregnancy, 1/3 of the cases of asthma will improve due to unknown reasons, and another 1/3 will remain stable, and another 1/3 there's a chance that it can worsen or it can exacerbate during pregnancy. So this exacerbation will occur between 24 to 36 weeks of pregnancy, mainly during the second and third trimesters of pregnancy. And there are several reasons reported for this, one of which is viral illness. So the viral infection can predispose you or can increase the risk of or can worsen your asthma. And the next most common thing is non-adherence to your medications. So if you are not taking your medications properly, you are supposed to take your inhaled corticosteroids, which are the preventer medications in asthma, regularly, even if you are pregnant. But most mothers make the mistake that by thinking that these steroids or these drugs can harm their baby, they will stop taking the drugs, and the result is that they will land up in uncontrolled asthma. So uncontrolled asthma can cause other problems like several acute severe asthma attacks, and this can have serious side effects or serious adverse effects in the baby. So what happens when a mother is having acute severe asthma attack? When a mother is having an acute severe asthma attack, her lungs are not getting proper oxygenation. So there will be decreased oxygenation in the blood. That means the baby is not getting proper oxygen. This leads to a condition known as hypoxia. Hypoxia means the baby is not getting enough oxygen. This can result in intrauterine growth retardation, which means the baby's growth gets retarded inside the uterus. And this can lead to problems like low birth weight. The baby will be having low birth weight during birth, or it can result in preterm delivery. Preterm delivery means before term, sometimes your delivery can happen, and also it can cause problems like if a mother is already having blood pressure during pregnancy, this asthma attacks can again predispose to the increased blood pressure and other complications like this. And in extreme conditions, this can also cause death of the baby inside the mother's uterus. So to avoid all these, it's better that all the pregnant mothers who are asthmatic should never stop their medication without consulting the doctor. And if ever they feel a difference, or if ever they feel a difference from the normal breathlessness pattern, they should definitely consult the expert doctor and seek expert medical advice and adjust their medications accordingly. So another thing to mention is the infection. So the infections are also very common in pregnancy because pregnancy is a condition of decreased immunity. So since there is a decreased immunity in the mother is more prone for infections including upper respiratory tract, in the upper part of your respiratory tract, as well as in the lungs, including pneumonia. Pneumonia means it is an inflammation, or it is a infection occurring in the alveoli of the lungs. So pneumonia, then viral infections, influenza, even viral pneumonias, etc. So if the mother experiences cough with sputum, that is cough with increased sputum production or increased phlegm, then she's having breathlessness, then having high fever, definitely they should seek medical advice. They should undergo investigations for pneumonia and get treated with correct antibiotics at the appropriate time. So when we are mentioning about infections, the flu or the influenza, this can present as simple viral illness, but it can also lead to other complications like viral pneumonias in pregnant mother. So they should be treated properly at the proper time. Another thing to mention is about the chicken pox. Chicken pox occurring in expectant mothers can result in varicella pneumonia or chicken pox pneumonia, which affects the mother, and if not properly treated can also cause problems or congenital defects in the birth defects in the baby. So if ever pneumonia occurs in a pregnant mother, when compared to the other normal people, they are at increased risk of complications like empyema. Empyema means pus, the pus which is collecting outside the covering of the lung. So this complication is more common in pregnancy, and also they can land up in respiratory failure, that is your lungs are not getting proper oxygenation because of this infection. So all these problems, the pregnant mothers are more at higher risk of these infections. So the thing is that they should always seek proper medical advice, and rather than thinking that all these drugs can harm their baby. So next one is tuberculosis. So what is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis is a highly prevalent infection in most developing countries of the world like India, Pakistan, etc. So this is caused by a bacteria known as Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and many are of the misconception that these TB drugs can harm their baby and they will not take the drugs properly. But the good news is that this TB is a completely curable disease if you are seeking medical advice and taking drugs in an appropriate regimen for an appropriate period of time, say 6 months or up to 9 months. And almost all the drugs of TB in the normal drug regimens are usually safe for the baby, and actually occur during the time of delivery. So one of which is known as amniotic fluid embolism. So amniotic fluid embolism means the amniotic fluid which is present in the sac covering your baby, sometimes during delivery, it will enter your circulation, it will enter your blood vessels, and it can block the blood vessels of the lung, and finally it can result in dyspnea and can land up in heart problems and sudden death of the mother. But this is very rare, or extremely rare, like it happens 1 in 8,000 to 80,000 cases. But if correctly detected at the proper time and given proper treatment, the mother and the baby can be saved. And the other one is venous thromboembolism. This means the emboli, or there is a block occurring in the vessels of the body and vessels of the lung, which can again have symptoms like cough, breathlessness, chest pain, sometimes blood tinge, blood streaks can be seen in the sputum. So if ever any symptoms like this happen, and especially if the mother is a smoker. Smoking mothers are at higher risk of this venous thromboembolism, and also if you have previous any blood disorders, any clotting problems, they are at high risk of this condition. But this is also, there are prevention methods for this and prevention medications for this if you are already having the problem, and if detected at the proper time, it can also be treated. And another one is also very rare, is acute respiratory distress syndrome. Acute respiratory distress syndrome can happen, or the respiratory failure can happen due to several causes in pregnancy. So one of which I mentioned is the infections, the pneumonia, which are not properly treated. And another one is the BP of the mother is uncontrolled. If the mother is already having hypertension and she is not taking drugs properly, this increased BP or hypertension can again predispose to this condition known as ARDS. And another one is the gastroesophageal reflux disease, or the GERD. So this GERD is also very common in pregnant mothers. The reason is that when your diaphragm goes up, the esophagus is a tube connecting your mouth to your stomach. So the esophagus, at the lower end, it has got a flap-like thing called the sphincter, and this sphincter, it relaxes during pregnancy, and what happens is the acid from the stomach, it will go upwards, and it can result in cough and recurrent respiratory problems. And in later stages, sometimes this can cause aspiration of the food contents, resulting in aspiration into the lungs, and can result in the respiratory failure or the ARDS. So, and last but not the least is the sleep disordered breathing, which can happen in pregnancy. So, sleep disordered breathing in pregnancy is also due to the several physiological changes that happen in pregnancy. Like what I already said, there are several hormonal changes. There will be increased mucosal edema in your respiratory tract, and in the upper part of the respiratory tract also some changes can happen, and all these can result in sleep disordered breathing. This vary from a simple snoring to severe conditions like OSA. OSA means obstructive sleep apnea. So obstructive sleep apnea is a condition which can happen also in pregnant mothers, because pregnancy is a condition in which you are putting upon weight, and because of all these physiological changes. So what is OSA actually? OSA is a condition where there is an apnea. Apnea means a breath-free period. Your lungs are not getting proper oxygenation because of the apnea, because of the respiratory tract will close. So if the lungs are not getting proper oxygen at night, that is nocturnal hypoxemia, which means at night your lungs are not getting proper oxygen. This means your baby is also not getting oxygen at that time, and can lead to again complications like retarded growth of the fetus inside the mother. So OSA is also a treatable condition, and it should be, if any mother having any sleep disordered breathing, any other problems like this, should also seek doctor's help, and it can be treated properly. So I think there are some questions coming. So if mother has TB, can baby get it? Yes. So if mother has TB, if the TB is not properly treated, as I already said, according to the proper drug regimens per time, there is a chance that baby can get it. So it's mainly, it can get spread through the blood, because if the TB of the mother is not properly treated, it can spread through blood, it can reach the baby, and sometimes during delivery. What happens if the mother is having a TB in a placenta, or the endometrium covering the uterus, or during labor, or during delivery in the genital tract TB, all these can contract to the baby, and baby can get a congenital TB. I think one more question is there. So are the TB drugs safe in pregnancy? Yes, as I already said, all the TB drugs except a very few, like some belonging to the streptomycin group, and some second line drugs like ethionamide and kanamycin, they are all safe in pregnancy. And always remember, it is the disease that affects your baby badly and not the drugs. So always get treated properly so that you can avoid the risk of harming your baby. One more question is there. Can asthma worsen during delivery? Yes. So due to some hormonal changes which happen during delivery, this asthma is shown to improve during the delivery. So this is because there are certain hormonal changes which happen during the time of the delivery or the labor, and asthma usually is many studies have shown that it improves during your delivery. But even if you are having an acute severe asthma attack at the time of your delivery, with proper management it can be controlled, treated, and there will be no harm to the baby and the mother. Now one more question is there. How can I reduce GERD? Okay, so as I already said, the GERD is actually a very annoying problem for the mother, because GERD can increase the risk for asthma also. As I already said, it can cause other problems like aspiration of the food contents and can result in ARDS, etc. So how can you reduce the GERD? Always be sure after having your meal, there should be at least 2 to 3 hours before you lie down, and you can take simple small meals at regular intervals rather than taking heavy meals 2 to 3 times a day. Also reduce your intake of chocolate, mint, spicy foods, and coffee, etc. And be sure stop smoking, because smoking not only causes harm to the lungs, it can cause several different problems to the baby and the mother. And if it's not controlled with all these simple measures, there are also medications which can help you reduce GERD. Now the next question, if I have infection, can I take antibiotics? Yes, sure. Definitely you have to take antibiotics, except a very few antibiotics which are contraindicated. Most of the antibiotics which we use today can be used in pregnancy without harm to the mother and baby. I think one more question is there. Can I take flu vaccine during pregnancy? Is it safe? Yes. So this is one thing I want to mention. As I already told, flu or influenza, which can present as simple viral illnesses, it can cause harm to the mother. It can result in pneumonia and other complications. So it's better that all the pregnant mothers can get vaccinated with an intramuscular injection, which can be given especially during the 2nd and 3rd trimesters of your pregnancy, and it is extremely safe for your baby. One more question. Can a mother with TB breastfeed her baby? Yes. Breastfeeding definitely should be encouraged in all cases, even if the mother is having TB, because even if the mother is taking drugs for TB, these drugs will not reach the breast milk in toxic concentration so as to harm the baby. And always breastfeeding should be encouraged. But the mother should take precautions, like she should cover her mouth and don't avoid open coughs, so that she can prevent contracting the disease to her baby. So one more question, I think. What is the treatment for OSA? So as I told, OSA can harm your baby because it can result in the decreased oxygenation to the baby and resulting in retarded growth. So OSA usually it's treated using a simple machine. The machine is known as CPAP. CPAP means it is a pressure support machine which will help to keep open your respiratory tract so that it does not get closed during night at sleep, and it can prevent you from getting apnea, and thereby you can save your baby. So this nasal CPAP is a very simple and very effective machine which can be used in OSA. Then one more question. If the newborn baby is diagnosed with TB, is it treatable? Yes. So if ever a mother who is having an active TB and is taking medicines, after birth, the newborn baby is I think one more question. So newborn babies, yeah. I think I have already answered this question. The newborn baby. Yeah, one more question is there. Are there other reasons for worsening of asthma in pregnancy? Yes, as I already mentioned, asthma in pregnancy can worsen due to mainly 2 reasons: the viral illnesses which can happen, and also non-adherence to your medications. That is, if you are not taking your medicines properly during pregnancy, if you are an asthmatic, this can increase your chance of getting uncontrolled asthma and acute severe asthma attacks. So some other reasons are allergic rhinitis. So the mother is having nasal allergy, like she is having increased sneezing, nasal itching, or watering of the eyes with itching, running nose, etc. The allergy should be properly controlled, otherwise she can get asthma attacks. And the thing to mention is the GERD, as I already told. GERD, the gastroesophageal reflex, the heartburn and the reflex should be properly controlled, because it can also be a trigger factor for asthma worsening in pregnancy. I think I have answered this question. Any more questions? Okay, so I think all of you might have got some knowledge or some information about all the respiratory problems and what are the steps to be taken, or when you should consult your doctor when you have the problems in pregnancy. Like if you have a difference from the normal variation in your normal breathlessness, then if you're experiencing cough with increased sputum production or blood tinged sputum, chest pain or any sore throat or any symptoms of allergy, which, or any fever which is not controlled with paracetamol, you should definitely seek expert medical help and get proper treatment so that you can prevent harm to your baby. So on this Women's Day, let us all take charge of our health for a brighter and healthier future. So be bold for a change.